قس على ما مضى من الأمور. If things become cloudy for you, meaning the things ahead of you become cloudy and you can't see, so then look at what happened in the past. Ahlul Bid'ah, the Mubtadi'ah, عندهم أساليب من قديم الزمان إلى يوم الناس هذا, until this day. What are their asalib? What are their biggest characteristics? As Imam Muqbil, he mentioned, he said, Al-Hizbiyuna ma baqiya indhum ila al-kadhib. He said the Hizbis, they have nothing left with them except making up lies. When a masjid like this masjid is established, of course, the people who established the masjid, alhamdulillah, they reach out to multiple different people based ala qadri ilmihim, based on what they know. What happens now is that, alhamdulillah, Allah Azza wa Jal, He guided the elders and those here to choose the path of Al-Quran wa Sunnah ala fahmi salaf al-Ummah. So the masjid now becomes, alhamdulillah, somewhat known amongst the people. What happens with those people who used to be upon misguidance is that they don't have nothing إلا الجمع الأموال بالدين. Their job is to gather money with their religion. The Muslim, Allah أمرك أن تنفق مالك في سبيل الله لا أن تتأكل في دين الله. Allah command you to spend your wealth في سبيل الله, not to try to use the religion of Allah to fill your stomach. كل إنسان كل حزبي من أهل البدع والضلالات والخرافات, you see them that يركزون كثير على المال. ويذكرنا بهذا حديث النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, and this reminds us of the hadith of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم about the alamat as-sa'a. And this is what I wanted to mention today, that it will come a time يصبح الرجل مسلم ويمسي كافرا ويمسي مسلما ويصبح كافرا يبيع دينه بعرض من الدنيا, and he sells his religion for a few dollars. Be patient, ikhwan. We have passed in the times of history, in our lifetime here, where individuals would put a price tag for the Salatul Taraweeh. They have a price tag on themselves for Salatul Taraweeh. So if they leave the first night of Ramadan, the price is cheaper. If it's in the middle 10 days of Ramadan, the price go up. If it's the last 10 days, the masjid has to cash out. The masjid has to pay good money. Because why? He's leading the last 10 days. And he has to recite the Quran with Sawt al-Bulbuli, the most beautiful voice. هذا يا إخوان لا يجوز. This is not allowed. ما سمعنا سلف الصالح يفعلون هكذا. The people of the past never used to do that. So, as a community, as we grow, as a community, as we learn, alhamdulillah, as sunnah wa salafiyah, you would realize that these things were something that we didn't pay attention. And I'm going to say something that the elders don't like. These elders that you see here, I know them for a long time. These elders, subhanallah al-azim, I used to think, 10 years ago, I used to say, look at them and say, subhanallah. They would gather their hard-earned money. And I'm saying it. This is something that they would gather their hard-earned money. 20,000 maybe, 10,000, 30,000. And they want to do good to Allah Azza wa Jal. They want to do good for the sake of Allah, yani. And someone would come and present to them that, look, I want to call to Islam. But the reality was, no, we want you to come with us so we can have, because we know that you donate. This is the ways of the Hizbis. They play with them, and our elders, Allah will reward them regardless. for whatever they spent, whatever effort they did for the sake of Allah. But when it comes down to it, they are the same people that were treated wrong. They're the same masajid. When they decided that, look, we want to build a masjid, some of those individuals, they don't even want to hear that a masjid is being established, let alone give $1, let alone encourage people to spend. Why? Because, like Imam Malik, he said, "Ma kana lillahi baqi." Whatever is done for Allah will remain. They remain, alhamdulillah, in this part of the city. Whoever doesn't know, doesn't know. But these elders and these people that you see in this community, they didn't just pop up five days ago, 5 years ago. Some of them have been striving and trying to establish masjid for maybe 40 years, 30 years, 20 years. They've gone around and tried. But the one fact remained. But because of that, because of their sincerity, and I'm not saying this to praise anyone, because of their sincerity, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed them to reach to a point where they say, you know what? All we want is Quran, Sunnah with the understanding of the Sahaba. None of these organizations, none of these groups, none of these people, because they have lived with them and they know them. They live with them. They've seen their ways. Al-Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, a man asked him, can a believer commit such and such a sin? He said, yes. Can a believer commit this other sin? He said, yes. Then the man asked Rasul, can a believer lie? Rasul, he said, no. Any individual who is able to face a community of Muslims and lie to them and expect them to still carry him up has lost his aql. Well, ikhwan, I'm saying this to say what? Success is not from fame. You bring in a famous man or a YouTuber, that's not going to give you success. What gives you success is fearing Allah Azza wa Jal and being sincere to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you are sincere in aiding the religion of Allah, Allah will aid you personally and as a community. This community of Futa Islamic Center, yes, we are not perfect. But what I know from the elders here is, from the time that I've been here, and Allah knows, is that every time something comes up, they check. They want to get, what does the ulama of Islam say? The scholars of the Sunnah, not just anyone. What do Sheikh Arafat say, for example? What does Sheikh Abdul Muhsin al-Abbad say about this man? What is Sheikh Rabi's opinion? Yani they try to go back, and we strive our best to get these answers to them. Why? Because ikhwan, they spent their wealth and their time to establish these communities for their families, not to play around. Every time, and I remind our elders, every time and they have witnessed multiple communities. This is not a speech for everyone. This is a speech for the people of this community. How many communities have you witnessed become destroyed and separated to the point that the police are in the masajid? People don't want to say this is the truth. The police come in the masjid with their foot, with their shoes in some of the masajid. Some of the masajid, they're in courts that never stop. Alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah. Our masjid, we don't have this kind of problem. Why? The reason why those people have those issues is because they differ in the fundamentals of their religion. Al-usul. Man hurrima al-usul, hurrima al-usul. Whoever is deprived from the foundations would be deprived from achieving their goals. The foundations that we have here are basic. At-Tawheed, was-Sunnah, على فهم سلف الأمة. We call to Tawheed, and we call to the Sunnah of Rasulullah with the understanding of the Sahaba. Any da'i, any caller, any imam who is upon these foundations, ahlan wa sahlan, come speak to us from morning to night. Any da'i, any imam who opposes the Tawheed and opposes the Sunnah, as long as we are here and I have good thoughts about the elders of this masjid, you are not welcome. Because what are you going to do for us? You don't bring us no dunya benefit. If, matter of fact, you might come and rob us. And you don't bring us no akhirah benefit. You don't bring us the benefit in the dunya and the benefit in the akhirah. فَمَاذَا نُرِيدُ مِنْكَ? What do we want from you? Let's say. So the reality is, as the brothers and sisters here living in this community, we have to become wise. Rasulullah ﷺ said the believer does not get stung by a snake from the same hole twice. You don't. You put your hand in this thing you one time, you don't go back there and be like, let me see if he's going to do it again. He's going to do it again. That's the reality. So just because someone puts on a cloak and they speak a great deal, that does not make them what? Correct in what they're saying. The miqyas, that which we used to judge individuals, my dear respected elders and brothers and sisters, that which we used to judge individuals is, are you upon the Quran and the Sunnah with the understanding of the Sahaba? Not can you speak too much or can you memorize too much. Al-Imam al-Barbahari, he said, العلم ليس بكثرة الحفظ ولا كثرة الرواية لكن العالم من علم الحق وعمل به أو من علم السنة وعمل به أما من علم السنة وخالفها فهو صاحب الهوى أو كما قال إمام البربهاري. He said knowledge is not memorizing too much information and saying it back. A parrot can do that. Knowledge is knowing the sunnah and applying it, acting upon it. But for the one who knows the sunnah and he denies it, هذا صاحب الهوى. This is a person of desires. So, we hear from the usul of Ahlul Sunnah, before someone gets upset, is that we only work with people who have the same mindset as us, which is, we are looking for a darul akhirah, based on following Quran, Sunnah, with the understanding of the Sahaba. Anyone who is a mubtadi' or anyone who aids the people of bid'ah, we don't welcome you. We don't want to hear your speech. We don't want you to destroy our kids and our families and our wives. Some of these people, ikhwan, they see it okay to sit with men and women. This is their way. It is okay, no hijab. This is not the way of Rasulullah ﷺ. Some of these individuals, they find it okay to speak about the ulama of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. We don't agree with this. A person of innovation, ikhwan, don't think it is from good manners to respect sahibul bid'ah. A person of bid'ah, you are not supposed to respect him. This is from Quran and Sunnah. I'm sorry to say this. Al-Imam Fudayl bin Iyad, he said, من عظم صاحب البدع فقد أعان على حدم الإسلام. Al-Imam al-Barbahari, he brings this narration in his book, Sharh Sunnah. He said, whoever magnifies and glorifies the person of innovation has surely helped in destroying Islam. We don't want to be trying to get reward and then we end up getting punished. If you aid a person of innovation and you glorify him and you magnify him to the people, you have helped in destroying the deen of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Brothers, elders, sisters, we do not